Y'all ready for a crazy one? Let's get it. Good morning, fam. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. So we're in September right now, and let me tell you, I had to put the heat on in my car this morning and run inside and get my jacket. I got some layers on right now, so summer is pretty much officially over. So this morning I have a special treat for you guys. I finished most of my biggest shows already, and I think I have one coming up in about 3 weeks. I think, like, I guess the season closer. So I have enough time to do this. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be taking these Subispeed V2 headlights out, and I'm gonna be sending them to my boy Jose, who owns his own business down in Florida called Restored Vision. Some of you might know him, some of you might not, or some of you might know that name per se. But Jose was doing this part-time, like doing lights like V1, V2 conversions, OEM conversions, just like Circuit Demon, things like that, but he was doing it for a better price and doing it just as good. He was doing it part-time while he was working, and when COVID, like when the height of COVID hit, things didn't work out with his current job, and then he started his own business. That's how Restored Vision really got its name, where he started doing it full-time, and more power to him, because I think he's fantastic at what he does. Otherwise, I wouldn't be definitely sending my stuff to him, because obviously I gotta take it out, pack it up, ship it out and everything like that. But let me tell you, his turnaround times is fantastic. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. By the way, also, I'll put something up on the side. You can find him on Instagram at restored_vision. Once you click on his bio in Instagram, or you can go restoredvision.com, you'll see his website. You'll see the array of things he does, like headlights, taillights, different conversions and whatnot. So I'll leave that up on the side. And that's really it. Just navigate the website, reach out to him via DM, let him know what you want. But I'm really, really excited to show you how this is gonna go. And I'm sending one of my memory cards to him, so hopefully he can get some footage off the process as well. And I'll see you guys back in, I would say, a week or two. What you're gonna see now is a time lapse just of me just taking off the bumper and whatnot, taking off the headlights and boxing it up. So I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, just finished. I got to do some, I didn't put the bumper or anything back on. I did put on my old lights just in case I want to run the car or whatever. We got some nice cool weather. So, you know, I mean, I got to take this out for a spin every week just because of the E85 in there. My bumper's up there, and I got to work on it, do some other work on it tomorrow. But everything is done. Just about to seal this bad boy up and ship it out. And guys, see how important it is for you to keep your boxes? You never know when you might need them. Never know. I'll see you guys soon. right, fam. Hopefully my battery lasts long. So I got everything laid out on the floor here. I just got off the phone with Jose, and it's not that hard. It's actually pretty simple, and I'll show you how simple it is. These barrel style connector wires, they come in a separate little package, okay? One is a 3-pin, one is a 4-pin. Match up the pins to the back of the Blueghozt controller, hook it up. The other ends of the wires get connected back here and one on the passenger side, okay? Now, you see, there's 2 red wires from the Blueghozt controller, positive. 2 yellow wires on the Blueghozt, negative, okay? Now, there's also, he sends you, there's 2 Circuit Demon control boxes as well. The Circuit Demon control box, if you follow this green wire, this green and black sleeve wire, it's already connected at the back of the headlight. Now, what that controls is this hex halo right here, okay? There's an added feature that you can or you don't have to use, and I'll tell you what it is. This peach wire right here, you can connect it right to the turn signal. So on the Blueghozt controller, he put on some tape, there's DRL written right here. This has to get connected to my DRL on my car side of the harness. And then there's one here called left turn signal. So this left turn signal wire has to get tapped into that yellow wire right there. Okay, now what I can do is you can take this peach wire from the Circuit Demon controller, tap it right here, and then you tap this one into the turn signal wire, and this will allow the hex halo to be used as a turn signal as well. So it won't be just for like your show modes and stuff like that. And the same concept goes for this side. So on this side right here, you have the Circuit Demon box for the other side. This is a ground, okay? This is a ground. The harness, I connected it to the back of the headlight. All right. And this peach into this white wire, it's a little bit longer. This right here, as I said, I didn't tap it in yet. I just put it on the blue wire to give you a demonstration. This blue wire right here has to get connected to your turn signal. So this white wire, I tapped it into the blue one, it'll connect to the turn signal, and this side hex halo is gonna work as a turn signal. And yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. So we will go over this a little more tomorrow morning when I start doing the install of the car. Guys, just remember, don't connect anything to power until you have everything connected the right way. Feel me? All right, guys, we're back next day. I explained how the wiring schematic works last night. So what I did, came downstairs this morning and basically hooked up the harness how I had it. All these taps here are from my fog lights and from my eagle eyes. I put all that stuff together. The other stuff that I was explaining last night, this is it right here. So we got the 2 positive wires right there, and we have the yellow, black. So these 2 yellows right here is from 2 boxes where the ghost lighting is. This black one is from the Circuit Demon box. This brown peach looking one right here, that's from the Circuit Demon box as well. So now these 3 are grounds, these 2 are positives. Now the grounds, guys, you don't necessarily have to connect it to your battery, okay? You don't have to do it like that. What you can do is you can take your tester, hook it up to your positive of your battery terminal, and tap on something. And if the tester lights up, that's a good ground. So I could ground it here, I can drill a hole here, ground it onto the body, and so forth. So you can connect it to your battery, you can connect it to the body, whatever you want to do. Or what you can do is you can just connect one of them, join 2 of these, and tap it into this one right here. So they'll be getting the same ground signal, and it can work like that. We have this wire right here. This is for the DRL. The DRL, I could tap that right into this green wire right here on the harness. That green wire is constant power. okay? The brown wire, that only functions the nighttime sensor. So when the car senses darkness or whatever, or you manually turn your lights on, it'll work with that. So you can hook up the DRL to whichever one you want. And then we have this one right here. This is for the left turn signal. So that has to get jumped to this yellow wire that's connected right here. So that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave, oh, and not to get carried away. So obviously we have two positives. So if you don't wanna clog up your battery terminal posts, what you can do is cut this, tap it into this one here. This is the main one with the fuse. That inline fuse is important just in case you have a power surge. You don't want your lights blowing out. So the fuse is gonna blow first. So when you cut this and tap into this main positive wire here, tap into it behind or after the fuse, not ahead of the fuse. Tap behind the fuse. All right, guys, it's a little bit dark. I have the exposure lowered all the way just to show you the effects of the light. So now, as I said, everything is hooked up. I temporarily hooked up power and ground because as I said last night, don't hook it up to power unless everything is properly connected. So I have, this is the DRL wire right here. It's attached to this green one here. So it has constant power running to it. The peach brown type wire, okay, and the one that said left turn signal, it's connected to this yellow wire that's connected to the Subispeed harness. That is for the turn signal. Then we have this is the ground wire right here connected to the battery. Then I have one of the relays for the Blueghozt here, and this is the one, this black one here is for the circuit demon. That's the ground. And then to the positive, I have this controller box right here with the Blueghozt. It's tapped in right over here after the inline fuse. So if something was to happen, the fuse is gonna pop, this is gonna be, and everything else will be safe. That's why it's so important where you tap it in. So everything is connected. Let me just show you how it looks. Okay. So now, I already had the apps pre-downloaded. Jose sent them to me. Now, food for thought. The hex, as I said, I actually tapped it into my turn signal so it can function as a turn signal. For instance, when I hit the alarm, see the hex blinks twice. When I lock the car, it blinks once, and you see the C light. Now guys, with the C lights, later on I'll show you guys that on the apps. With the C light, you could change the color of it. I was just messing around with it. That's why it's not amber. I'll show you again. Okay, so as far as the hex goes, there is constant power running to it right now. So if I turn it on from the app, I can have this running while the car is off, which is fine. Just remember to turn it off. That's all you got to do. But it's pretty damn clean. I'll show you guys the apps and stuff later. I actually have a custom color code programmed in. It's actually almost like my diodynamics stuff. So it's not bad at all. It's very, very simple. The Blueghozt app though, that is, it's a little more complicated, I should say. But other than that, it looks freaking fantastic. Everything is hooked up the right way. Everything is working. Give me a second. Let me show you real quick. Let me just load this up so I can just show you. It's loading up right here. All right, we're in. So everything is hooked up. Everything works fine. It's pretty damn good. If I unlock the car, so everything works. So you could drive with this shit, blah, blah, blah. I don't suggest it. Don't want to get a ticket. In Florida, things might be different, Jose, but in New York, it's a little bit dicey, these cops out here. But other than that, everything works pretty good. So now, all I gotta do now is just gotta find a home. I just gotta put the light in and neaten up and, you know, wrap up all the wires. And just don't forget, there's one more, this 4-pin connector right here. That one goes to the other side for the other light, okay? Okay, so driver's side is in. I just want to show you something real quick. Wire management is totally up to you. I'm a little bit of a neat freak, so look what I did. I took my 3M Velcro tape and I stuck this one circuit demon and this other controller on top of the Blueghozt controller right here. And that is just gonna go up here. It's gonna sit on top of there just like that right there. I don't have to worry about it. Food for thought, remember this barrel style connector right here that connects behind the Subispeed light? I'm gonna wrap this up in a second. I just wanted to show you this other barrel style connector. Make sure you gotta run it. It's ran behind my intercooler and it's down there on the other side. So that has to hook up to the other, behind the other headlight. Also, this other circuit from the passenger side headlight right here, the other circuit demon box, this connector right here has to connect to this one right here from the Blueghozt controller. So you can't forget that. So these circuit demon boxes, they're gonna be pretty much primarily just on one side of the car just because of the, I guess, the wiring, you know what I mean? So now, as I showed you guys, I already explained how you guys have to wire all this stuff. It's pretty simple. So, you know what I mean? Don't stress it too much. This wire right here, this white one that is connecting to, the brown, is still the same wire. That is gonna be tapped into this yellow wire right here. That is for your hex halo to operate as a turn signal, okay? Pretty simple, right? Then obviously you have your ground right here. You could take this, I could take this and tap into one of those grounds right here. Not a big deal. And this blue wire right here, as I said last night, this has to tap into your turn signal as well. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take this white wire, tap it to the blue wire, and then the blue wire, tap it to the yellow, and call it a day. All right? Okay, so to add on what I just told you, so now this is tucked here. My other circuit demon box is this wire right here is connected, and the wire from that circuit demon box is all the way over on behind the intercooler right here. So it's right here to connect behind the headlight at this juncture right here. Okay, now as I told you before, the blue wire I tapped into the turn signal wire already. Okay, and then the other this brown wire that runs to the white, this is it right here. Boom, boom, boom. And that is gonna tap into the blue wire once I put the light on. So now, just gonna take this off, slap the new one on, that's it. All right, fam, just finished. Everything is connected. Lights are back together. Tomorrow, I'm gonna put the bumper back on because I can't do that today because my wife has to leave for work. But the install was a success. As I told you before, just take your time. You'll be okay. Just connect everything as I told you how to connect it. And that's really it. Wire management, that's totally up to you. But all the cords, everything was long enough so you don't have to worry about that. And the cool thing about, there's a kill switch attached to the main positive. Remember how I told you to tap the hex halos, tap it after the fuse? So now the cool thing is that kill switch works for, it'll kill both the hex and the ghost modules at the same time. See it? So once I turn it on, and as I told you before, don't forget the hex halos work independently from the Blueghozt, which means you have to go into the app and turn it off after, you know, if you're leaving your show or whatever the case might be. Now, once you turn it off, it will still function as, it won't be doing like the strobe and all of that stuff or fading into different colors. What'll happen is, hold on, let me turn on the exposure. So what'll happen is, once the circuit demon stuff is off, let me show you. It'll still function as a turn signal. See it's blinking? See it turned yellow? That's what I'm saying. So it'll still function as a turn signal. So that's perfect. So once I have my turn signal on, this will function as it. So let me turn it on right now, and let me turn on the signal, and let's see what happens. Okay, so the turn signal is on the passenger side. This hex halo is still doing its thing, fading in and out into different colors, while this one blinks. See the hex halo is blinking yellow right here? So the turn signal takes precedence over anything else, if you get my drift. And later on I'll show you, you can change the color of your sea lights. Look how dope this is right here too. So through the Blueghozt app, you can change all of that stuff. That's no issue. All right, so I'll be back a little bit later. As I said, Jose, thanks so much for making a freaking killer product, man. Definitely sick. I don't know if I could catch this, but because it's so, the lights are freaking bright. But look at the, yep, there it is. Look at the Hulk in there. That's so freaking sick. So sick. So now, so it's scanning the Blueghozt here real quick. Give me a second. Let me turn off the signal. Look at that. Oh man, that's so hard. That is so hard right there. So hard. Look how beautiful that looks. So as I said, guys, definitely like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is a freaking super solid in-depth video. Once again, Jose, thanks so much for making this work for me, especially on short notice. Thank you so much. Everything came out freaking superb. Great customer service. Guys, follow the wiring as I showed you guys. It's actually pretty easy. You'll be all right. Don't sweat it. You know what I mean? Don't sweat it. And we'll be back later to check out the apps. Okay? Give me a sec. All right, guys, this is about a week later, and it's a little bit loud because my car is on, but I did a massive amount of troubleshooting just to help you guys out, and it helped me as well because how my lighting system is set up. And let me explain. So I got those rocket bunnies, those 5 pod lights right there. I have my running lights right here. And what I wanted to do was try to set this up where, remember, there's only one DRL wire on the kit that Jose made at Restored Vision, and then one for the turn signal. So remember, with the Subispeed headlights, the running lights, the DRLs, only turn on when you put the e-brake down. So the wire that you have to connect, and also though, what'll happen is Blueghozt app, it won't sense that the light is on, so you can make changes to the colors or patterns or whatever. So now you actually have to put it on a source of power that, so like this, if I turn the light on, so like say for instance I put on the parking lights, it does its sequence and it turns on. Okay, now the issue with that is if you only have it hooked up to this yellow wire right here, this yellow wire right here, I know I showed you guys a different wire at the beginning of the video. You can literally connect that DRL wire to any wire that gets power. Like you could connect it where there's a wire, as soon as you turn the ignition on, it'll light up. Or that yellow wire right there, that is for when you turn on the parking lights or the regular headlights. And this red wire here, this red one right here, that is for when the nighttime sensor kicks in. So at first, so what I said was, I wonder if I took about a foot of wire and tried to extend that DRL wire that Jose gave me. And what I found was, to keep it in short, so, but first, before I get into that, that same DRL wire that you get with the kit, okay? The same DRL wire that you get with the kit, instead of connecting it here to the light source, you could connect it to this DRL harness from Subispeed right here. Now, if you connect it to the DRL harness, so watch, let me shut the light off. Okay, so the light is off. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put my e-brake down. Just be careful, guys. Make sure you put a chock behind your wheel. So once I turn the e-brake down to drive, it comes on as well. So the thing is though, if you hook up the DRL only by itself, the DRL wire for the lights from Restored Vision, if you hook this DRL wire here, if you hook this right here to the Subispeed DRL harness, these lights are only gonna come on when you put the e-brake down. So what I did was I jumped it, I connected the DRL instead of connected to the Subispeed harness, this one that says DRL right here, connect the main wire harness from the headlights to this yellow wire right here, okay? That yellow wire right there. So that'll function for my headlights. And what I did was I tapped that same DRL wire from the headlight right here, tapped that same wire and ran it to the Subispeed DRL wire right here. So now, not only do the lights function when I put the e-brake down, so let's say I put the e-brake back up, the lights are gonna turn off. And now if I put my parking lights on, there you go. And as a sweet ass bonus, guess what? This is the nighttime sensor right here. Cover that bad boy up. Give it a couple seconds. It's like 10 or 15 seconds or whatever the case might be. There you go. So, in closing, you take this wire right here that you get with the headlights that says DRL on it, connect it to this yellow wire right here with the gray. It's yellow with some gray stripes. It is the, let's see, from the top left, move over one, and it's the second wire down, that yellow wire. So the main DRL harness, you hook it up to the yellow wire. This is for the headlight function. then take a regular piece of wire, tap into the DRL wire right here, and tap into the Subispeed DRL right here, and all the problems are solved. All right, fam. So this portion of the video, we're gonna cover the Blueghozt application. Guys, just a heads up, this app is super versatile, and I'm talking about, it doesn't matter how you have your LEDs or how you have them run, like direction wise, you can control direction and everything else from this app. So I'm just gonna breeze through it. There's some videos that Blueghozt themselves put out that would even help for more clarification if you like. But I'm gonna do the best job that I can right here, because I actually arranged my turn signals and everything else how I want it. So here we go. So pretty much go into your app store, and after you download the Blueghozt app, right there, open it up, and down to the bottom you're gonna see it's connecting. All right, now guys, normally you don't have all these show modes or whatever the case like that. Those are mines that are set up, and pretty much you can literally go in here, let's say delete this one, and you want to add one, hit the plus sign. Okay, so popcorn comes up first, as you see it right here. So let's say we want to add, let's go to power surge, as you saw me having it before. Okay, now this right here, this purple with the building blocks on it, that's an arrangement tab. Every time you click on that, it can actually do something else with that particular show mode. It's actually pretty cool. These colors right here, you can add, delete colors. There's some slides right here. There's frequency, speed, and a master dimmer. Okay, see how I dimmed it down right there? So it's a master dimmer. And now this dimmer right here, this one right here is to dim a specific color. So if I tapped on green and I lower it, it'll dim down green within the show mode. Okay, so you can also name this right here. So let's call it power. Okay, hit done, and it's in there. Now guys, just to let you know, when you mess around with the frequency and speed, they can do different things. It's crazy how it works. So let's say I slowed it down and I lowered the frequency, or raised the frequency. See how it's shining differently now? It's pretty cool. So let's put it back to let's leave that right there. I'm gonna leave that right there. And once we go back to home, down to the bottom left, see power to the bottom. Now you can delete all of them, mess around with them, do whatever you like. Now if you notice right here, you have like these little bookmarks right here. This is how you want to arrange everything. So let me explain. You click right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do about 8 shows. Now down to the bottom right here, there's this guy running right here. That's for the interval, or how fast you want to switch to the next show mode. So what happens is when you hit this play button right here, what it's going to do is it's going to play popcorn, which is number 1, for 5 seconds. Then it'll jump to parade, which is number 2, for 5 seconds, and so forth. So let's go. Let's see what it does. Pretty awesome. And that's what it does. So it's pretty much going through 8 shows and 5-second intervals. And you can put this all the way up to 66 seconds if you like. Okay? So food for thought. Pause that bad boy right there. Now we have right here, when you click the car, down to the bottom left, second in from the left, you have, this is for your turn signal and parking lights. Okay, now as far as turn signals go, obviously you got to turn on your turn signal. And what's going to happen is, see up here you have like a left arrow, right arrow, like a high beam, and it looks like a party favor. What happens is, when you connect this the right way, you're going to know that, because once I turn on the signal, okay, once I turn the signal on, you will see the arrows light up or the headlights light up. Let me show you. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you, I turned on the parking lights. Now, if you notice up to the top, you see the little high beam? It's circled in purple. And there we go. There you have it. It's pretty damn cool. Now, since those are the parking lights or headlights, you go to where the tabs that say parking lights, and you can change the colors of the sea light and the gill, so to speak. And you can show, like, okay, let me turn this off. This is how my headlights look when it turns on, or senses darkness, or whatever the case might be. It's scan sweep, and I have it set at a certain intensity. So watch this. See how it looks? That's pretty cool, right? Now, I have mine set, like the size and the speed, I have it set low so it takes its time, it turns on. Guys, when you increase like the size and speed of this, so I had this at what, 2 or 5 and 2 or something like that. So let's say, let's put it in the middle. I'm gonna turn it off. Let's go back to scan sweep. See how fast it did it? So let's increase the size all the way, turn it off, turn it on. It's getting faster and faster. I like it slow. So now you turn it off, turn it back on. I like it. That's pretty cool. Love it. So now, okay. So now, this is the switchback fade right here. I have it set usually at 6 seconds, which I like. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love this. So now, that is pretty much the parking lights. Now, guys, remember, look at this. If you click on a color, now we can set the color on the color wheel however you want it. Now, guys, I set mines for when I'm driving legally. You don't want to set this like to green. You can do whatever you want. Like if you live in Florida, I don't know if the cops bother you or wherever, but in New York, you don't want to mess around with that shit. So I can have it at red and have the gills color at green or blue or white, whatever. You can go crazy with all these colors. Okay, millions of colors you can do on this color wheel. Okay, so, and remember, whatever color you do over here, you can lower it with this dimmer. See what I'm saying? You can lower it with this dimmer right here, depending on if you have it on the, for the sea lights or whatever the case might be. But let's change that back to how I had it. Don't want to get in trouble with that. That. And that. Okay, that's perfect. So guys, in a nutshell, that's pretty much it right there. Now, as far as the turn signals, let's get into that real quick. All right, now, time for the turn signals. Guys, if you notice, now the high beam that was circled in purple is off, and you have the left and right arrows that are circled in purple. That's because I have the hazards on. So it's picking up both signals going off, which is freaking awesome. So I know I have my stuff hooked up correctly. Obviously, you can tell. Now, if you notice how I have like my turn signals and everything, like it's coming from from the corners is coming from here and here and meeting up here. Okay, now I have it on wave. If you see right here, wave is cool, and now you could pick either basic, you know what I'm saying, you could pick either basic, sequence, bounce, but I'm gonna get into why it's doing the things that it's doing. Bubble is really nice, but let's put it back to wave. And now guys, with the turn signals, you click on the color, and you can move it however you want to whatever color you want. See it? Pretty sweet, right? So, yeah. So I still have it on, white. The reason why I have it on white, because my Circuit Demon hexes, they're blinking yellow. And I'm trying to stay, now obviously, look, I could put it on yellow as well, which is fine. So that's perfect. I can leave it like that. That's for the turn signal. I could change up the color a little bit. Obviously you guys can see that. Green. So whatever tickles your fancy, guys, play around with it. You know what I mean? Sky's the limit. Do whatever you want. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. Now, I will tell you this. So I have the size of the signal and the speed. My size is 3 and the speed is 18. Guys, if I increase the size, let's say I increase the size, watch this. Notice how it's flowing differently now? Because the bulk of the LEDs, you're increasing the size of how the LEDs are shining. So that's the reason why it's looking like that. So let's put it back to 3. See how it's different now? And it's if I speed it up, see how fast it's gonna go? There you go. So let me put this back. Yeah, love it. And look, if I lower the speed all the way, look. So play around with it, see whatever you like, and make it work. Okay? So as I said, guys, you can put the color to whatever you want. It's pretty freaking sweet. I have mine's like right here. There we go. On to the next. Alrighty, guys. Now on to the next part of this, which is probably the most important one. This arrangement tab right here, the building blocks. Click on that bad boy. Now you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff here, and it's gonna look pretty complicated, but follow along and you'll understand what's going on. Now there's a brake portion over here that's highlighted. Nothing is connected to my brakes, so just don't worry about that. You can uncheck it if you like. And if you notice right up here, there's a little save memory card right here with this green circle going around. It saves, so whatever changes you make, it saves it automatically to the app. It's actually pretty damn cool. Okay, so just pay attention to that. So now, guys, when you get the lights from Jose, it comes normally with like 1 section, 2, 3, and a 4th section. I ended up playing around with this and got used to it, where I actually made it 3 sections and it's doing everything that it's supposed to. It's actually pretty damn cool. Now, normally this is on strip. I put it on halo for just more versatility. It's actually pretty cool. I put it on halo just for more versatility. You'll see what I mean. And pretty much over here you see this arrow, this left arrow right here that's highlighted, and the high beam is highlighted. So what this arrangement tab does is exactly what it says. It arranges how the LEDs, how many LEDs you have on the strip, and you can add and subtract. Also, there's a offset and direction, so that can dictate the flow of the LEDs. So let's say you have a strip on the driver's side headlight that's backwards, you could change the direction of it to match the one on the passenger side with this direction one right here. And yeah, it's pretty damn cool. And if you notice in sections 1, 2, and 3, you notice that these arrows are highlighted. You can uncheck those arrows if you like. When you uncheck those arrows, because you literally can tell it what to do as far as if you want something blinking. Like say for instance, look at this. See the headlight one right here? On section 1, that headlight number 1. If I click, now this is the left, which is the driver's side, right? So if I uncheck headlight 1, notice the C light shut off. And if I check headlight number 2, what happens is it becomes the same color. It becomes the same color as the gill. Now, if you go down to section 2 and 3, if you notice the gills are on headlight number, those are the number 2. If I uncheck headlight number 2 and click on number 1, notice the gills now on the driver's side. It took the place of the C lights. So I literally swapped. So look at the C lights on this one right here. This is white, the gills are yellow. The gills over there are white, the C lights yellow. So you could, man, sky is the limit with this damn thing. It's crazy. It is crazy what you can do. So let's put it back the way it was. Boom, boom, boom. And we got it right there. Also, if you notice over here, it says size. So in section 1, you notice size of the LED. I have it at 27. If we hit the subtract button, watch what happens. Look what happens. Do you see what's happening? Crazy, right? So what I did was I got to 27 because I can see as I increase the size, if you notice, 26, 27. The whole C light now is filled with white, and now the gills are filled with yellow. Now the gills have 2 sections in them, where that's why I have the size of them at 6 each. Look, if I subtract, you see what's happening? So guys, sky's the limit with this thing. Play around with it. You could do so much stuff with this. But when you get it from Jose, it's already pre-done. You know what I mean? He'll probably tell you, like, don't mess with it. But, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I like to know what I'm doing, and that's the reason why I can create these things. So, I'm going to turn on the hazards now, and I'm going to show you what offset and direction can do. All right, guys. Now, pay attention to this. Look at to your right, or the driver's side. Look at the C lights. Notice that the beams, the flow is coming from the corner and ending at the ends. But look at the passenger side. It's coming from the ends, it's ending at the corner. In the corner, I mean. Let me explain why. So if you notice, if you slide over here to the right, so this slide these are independent, these can be controlled independently right here. So if we look at the right or passenger side, look where I have the offset. The offset is at 15, and the direction is at 187 in section 1. But on the left, I have the offset and direction at 0. So as you increase the direction, look at the driver's side, it's going to start changing. Look, as soon as I hit, so watch this. So in the low teens, the pattern is different on the C light than the passenger side. So now if I put it at 187 here, watch what happens. But now the lights are not going in sync, correct? Because the offset, it's not matched. Look at the right side right here. The offset is at 15, but the left side is at 0. Okay? So now watch, I'm gonna turn this to 15 and watch how they sync up. See it? How sweet is that? And now you can do the same thing for the gills. So let's say on the right side, I have the gills offset and direction all at 0, and that's what I have on the left side too. And guys, you could play with that, because what'll happen is you can slow down the gills or speed them up like that. So let's see. If I change the offset on the gills, now if you notice, I changed the offset on the gills, it's actually making the sea lights act funny too. So guys, just remember, whatever you do, it can dictate how the LEDs react. So now look, I have my offset on section 3 of my gills at 13. Look at how fast the tops are blinking on the gills, and look at the passenger side. Let me put it back to 0, and everything is right as rain. So guys, play around with it, mess around with it, you know, if you want. If you don't want to and you want to stay safe, be my guest, but I'm not safe at all. So, you know what I mean? That is pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? As far as like complications go. You know what I mean? Let's see. You got your settings right here. The setting wheel right here. You can put your nickname. So I could put Hulk. Just leave everything like that. Done. So now down to the bottom, that's the Blueghozt. And by the way, guys, usually when you start this app, it can come up with a message saying put in a code or whatever. If you want to input a code, that's totally up to you. I would probably recommend you to do it so nobody could get into your ghost lighting if you're at a show or whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it for that. Let me turn off the hazards real quick and I'll show you one more thing. All right, guys. So right before we close on this, I just want to show you how patterns and everything can affect this. Now, by the way, these show modes, they're super easy to operate. Just tap on them. Like, look at Parade. Once I tap on this right here, it'll highlight itself purple and it'll start. Now, I want to show you something. Click on the settings on Parade, that cogwheel right there. Now, check this out. Notice I have the size, okay, and the gap size. So the size is 100% and the gap is 81, okay? Watch how different these things can be. Look what I did. I clicked on the arrangement tab and look what it did. Notice that when you click on it, it's flowing in one direction. When I click on the arrangement tab to highlight it purple, watch this. See what I'm saying? So you have like a couple different modes right there. Now, this is important. If you move this slider, see how it can affect it? Look at the block size. Now if I lower the speed, look at it. And this is the same Parade that you just witnessed right there. So I like it like this. Put the block size, max it all the way out. Put that bad boy. Look at that. So as I said before, the intensity and the speed, they can dictate how and patterns and flow of the lights. Okay? All right, guys. And lastly, with this setup, he hooks you up with a little key fob that says on and off. Guys, definitely get like a cover for this or keep this in your car or something, because it can be pressed in your pocket pretty easily. because the buttons they're not recessed as I would have liked them to be. So you can actually activate this in your pocket like I did. So this fob controls an automatic show mode. Watch this. And it goes through pretty much everything. So you can make up your own show, you can use the key fob, you can do whatever you like. Look what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? Guys, you know what to do. Definitely like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Follow Jose on at Restore_Vision. I'll put everything in the description. Not a big deal. And you'll see pretty much everything. But I will tell you this. This cost about $1,300. That's not a bad deal at all, because you can definitely be paying way over 2 G's for this, and he does fantastic work. So as I said before, definitely like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Everything is going to be in the description. I will talk to you guys soon. Take it easy, fam.